Hello everyone, welcome to Roots and Truths. So today I wanted to show you the transformation in the backyard and how we build our raised beds. But before that I wanted to show you our wood chips delivery. And you'll see towards the end of this video how I use the wood chips in our garden. Now one day on my way home from work, I saw an arborist in the neighborhood and asked me if I can get his wood chips. And he was very happy to give me. He actually followed me home right then and there to deliver his wood chips. And this is actually my second delivery of wood chips, but I love using them in the garden, and I'm going to show you what exactly I do with them. And they're very helpful. The plants love them. Your garden will like them. So okay, let's head on back and let's build some raised beds and start transforming our garden. Okay, so our first raised bed is going to be a 12 by 4 feet bed, and it's going to be 8 inches tall. So that's good depth, good enough depth. I plan to use this mainly for vegetables and things that don't have deep roots. Anyway, so the important thing to note here is I am also using decking screws. So the screws that I'm using here are at 3.5 inch decking screw. So those screws, they will not rust when it gets wet. And I'm also going to anchor each corner of the longer side with 2x4s. So I'm using 2 decking screws per 2x4. And then so that's since it's a really big bed like this, I'm really going to need that extra anchor in there. Soil is very heavy, and when it gets wet it's going to be even heavier. So for my bed to last a good 3-5 years, I'm going to just give that extra support. So yeah, very important here, 3.5 inch decking screws. I should also mention that the lumber that I bought was the pressure treated lumber. It was in the outdoor section. So usually, I don't know how necessary that was, but I was told that the pressure treated lumber is going to give me more. It's going to last longer outside in the elements. But yeah, so if I want this bed to last a good 5 years, I went with the pressure treated lumber. It's probably a couple more dollars than the regular lumber of same size. Maybe not. I didn't have to, but I just wanted to be safe and make sure my bed would survive the elements. So pressure treated lumber, that's important. So one of the things I did before I completed my bed was to make sure that the diagonals were correct. That way I'll ensure that it's a perfect rectangle. And that is very important. You don't want a bed to be, skewed, or else it wouldn't be as strong. It's strongest when it's a perfect rectangle. So what I did was take some nylon, tie it to one end, measure one diagonal, then take that loop, put it on the other end, and measure that diagonal also. Get the mark, and if it's not equal, since all my starting boards were 12 feet by 4 feet, I just had to nudge it in a little bit if one side was too long, and eventually they all lined up. So this is very important. It's a fairly easy process. And actually, I did this before I really tightened all the screws. I know I put a lot of screws in here, but I believe I left some not all the way in. So before I tighten everything like really tight, I make sure the diagonals are equal. So this bed was finished, but before I moved it into its final location, I actually had quite a bit of work to do, and you will see it's actually a lot of work. The land looks leveled, but it's actually not. It's probably like I had to actually build a trench on the top side, make sure everything is leveled out. And this is after I cut the grass and everything. So it's actually quite a bit of work living in the land to make sure my bed is leveled. But we did it, and we're happy with our work. Look, it's looking good. So we're not done building raised beds as yet. So we got a lot of different lumber from a neighbor who was moving out, and we decided to make another raised bed. So he gave us some 2x4s and 2x6s. So we decided to take the 2x4s and stack them three together to make a bed that is going to be 12 inches tall. So this bed is going to be 6 inches by 4 inches, and then the height is going to be 12 inches. And we're hoping that we can plant some root crops in here, like carrots and potatoes, things like that. Crops that need extra depth. So it turned out that I had to rebuild the bed. So instead of attaching the 2x4 to the three 2x4s first, we had to change it up and put the 2x6 first. Because it was very hard. The 2x4 could only hold like one screw, and it wasn't stable at all. But it worked out. So here's our final product. Actually, this is not final. Here's our final product. So it's now moving into place. Now we still have to level the ground for this, and actually the ground here is even more sloped than the other section. And on this bed, we're going to leave the soil exposed. We're going to put topsoil, our garden bed soil, directly in here. We're not going to cover the bottom of this bed. But we liked how it turned out. Oh, look what just happened. Oh, oh, oh. Look what just arrived from a neighborhood. Whoa. Chip drop. There's the chips. Woo. Oh, Gracie, all the food for you. Alright, so now our two beds are in place, and now it's time to bring in the wood chips. So this is what we're doing, the wood chips. So first we're gonna try and control the grass in this area. Notice there's grass growing around. When rain falls, it's gonna be a forest. So we're gonna cover it with cardboard, a layer of cardboard, and then we're gonna put like maybe 4 inches of wood chips, maybe 6 inches. in some areas over it, and that's going to help keep the grass down all around the bed. And this actually was the best thing we did in our garden this year. Put in the cardboard or wood chips. It's like it never gets muddy. You don't have to pull the grass. You just walk out there and there's. Thank you for watching Roots and Truths on YouTube. For more how-to gardening videos and to follow us on our journey where we can survive on all the food we grow in our own backyard, would you mind subscribing to our channel? Hit the notification bell, and thank you so much for all the support and for liking and sharing all our videos.